Coming up here, Circle Debate Podcast, episode 46, as we'll go ahead and discuss this past week, AEW's Dynamite. What an incredible Dynamite this past week. Also want to congratulate from Impact as well, champions, we will discuss that as well. And also giving our thoughts about Paul White's debut on Elevation. And in part two, if there is a part two, we will go ahead and discuss about this past week, WWE NXT. We'll also discuss about the upcoming pay-per-view coming up for WWE Fastlane, Pro Wrestling News, New Japan Cup update, and more. So episode 36 starts ahorita. Welcome everyone to the Circle of Debate podcast. This is the host of Devious One. I will see here with mi familia, the West Side, but there's no MGC. There's no Matt Callis today. But
just the two of us.
Just the two of us for right now. We'll have Money Mike coming in later on. But yes, I am joined here by the other host, the director, el director, the one and only.
What up, dude? Yes. What a night. What a dynamite.
Dynamite.
Damn.
That's right. But before we start, I wanted to hear from part of the Circle Debate family wishing MGC's mother a happy birthday.
Absolutely.
That's why he is not here today, because he's celebrating the B-Day for mother. So happy birthday to your mother. And many, many more. Many, many more. But yes, and also before we begin, we're discussing with Dynamite. I want to go ahead and just shout out, congratulations to Rich Swann being, unifying the TNA and retaining the Impact World Champion, defeating Moose. That was an instant classic match. If you guys missed it this past weekend, Sacrifice. Awesome match. I loved it. Now he's going to be facing Kenny Omega at Rebellion, April 24th. Title versus title, which we're looking forward to see. And also, I want to congratulate Ace Austin defeating TJP for the Impact X Division title. That's another instant classic that you guys should definitely see. And oh my God, it was a back and forth, and I'm very happy for Ace. Congratulations to him, and also congratulations to Finjuice with Juice Robinson and Finley winning the Impact World Tag Team Champions away from the Good Brothers, which that was a shocker. It got me out of like, what?
Yeah,
he just dropped the belts that quick? What's up with that? I'm like, okay. Well, they'll get the rematch at Rebellion the 24th of April. And also wanted to congratulate Paul White as well. Okay job. I won't say it was the best kind of commentating he did this past Monday on Elevation. Give him his kudos. He did have little mistakes here and there. Knew his knowledge about Danny Limelight, which I want to shout out to Danny Limelight for a great match against Jungle Boy. Loved it very, very much. And also wanted to give a shout out to Maki Ito for a great main event between her and Riho, even though Riho with the upset. But congratulations to Maki Ito for her outstanding performance in AEW. Now she's back in Japan, and we're gonna miss you here in the States, seeing you in the States. Yeah. But you can still watch her in DDT Wrestling, Yoshi Pro Wrestling too on YouTube.
I think Matt was talking to her. Was that on Clubhouse?
On Instagram Live.
Oh, Instagram Live. Oh, dope. Yeah, he was talking to her, as much as she could, her feed's probably super busy, but she responded. He asked her if she was ever going to be in a death match, and she was like, no, I don't want to die. Like something cute like that. So it was good to see her, with her fan interaction and her newfound fandom from the American crowd, which is super awesome. I can't wait to see her back.
Yeah, definitely. Can't wait to see her back either as well. And also Tony Khan making an appearance on the Elevation. Just, a little thing that happened between Kenney and Matt Seidel, and then Khan, he doesn't really make appearances. I mean, only on Impact, but it's rare when you see him in AEW. So that was a shocker. But I mean, I guess we'll be seeing more Tony Khan. Maybe playing the McMahon role, maybe. I don't know. That's a big question mark. We have to wait to see. Now let's start off with Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen. Start with the opening match. Woo! Man, Cody Rhodes. Pentagon Cero Miedo. Jesus. Go with you, director. Talk to us about that match. What were your feelings about it? The opening match.
I thoroughly enjoyed the match itself. I didn't think Penta was going to win at all. I knew it wasn't going to be quick either. It was a hard-fought victory with technically like a come-from-behind surprise roll-up, I believe it was. Yeah. Where Penta hit him really hard with something. He actually kicked out of the crossroads, which in my opinion, too many people are kicking out of.
Yeah.
It's becoming more of a signature move instead of a finisher. I know he finished someone last week with a figure four, which I'll get into that.
Yeah.
The feud's over. You won. I don't know what, unless there's going to be like stipulations added to like to a rematch, which these guys are such quality wrestlers alone that they don't need stipulations to put on a great match.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a clean win. It's over. I don't know what Penta's going to do now. I don't know what they're doing with the Penta and Rey Fenix going singles right now. I don't know what the plans are. I don't think they're splitting up the doubles, and I don't think they're splitting up Death Triangle. So maybe they're just feeling it out. But, yeah, good match overall. I mean, fantastic by both of them. I think Cody was the one that Cody got his revenge with the Canadian Destroyer this time, which was a good throwback. Little storyline going on in the moveset, and I love in-ring stories. So cool little Easter egg right there was Penta's big signature is crazy Canadian Destroyers, and Cody hit one, which is, now that I think about it, Dustin Runnels actually hits him too. Goldust hits the Canadian Destroyer also, so that's really coming full circle. So a little in-ring storytelling right there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, and it's when it's rare when you see Cody doing those type of moves as well. And then, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but and also to our viewers, subscribers, correct me if I'm wrong, but you really don't see Cody being these type of matches with a luchador. I mean, besides Mysterio, but I'm saying like you could tell that that match was very different. It was just so unique in its own story that it was told. But I don't think the feud is over. I think it's still going to continue. We did see the aftermath.
They wouldn't have a build up like that and all the shit talking that Penta's putting on with his. I'm not sure who his translator is. If he's current presence in wrestling, I don't know if he comes from like CMML or FMML or AAA.
Oh, he's on BT all the time, but I forgot his name. Jesus.
So he is already like in the business as far as like a manager of some kind. Okay,
yeah, cool. He's an AEW.
Sorry,
he's in a backstage role. Yeah,
Senor, I don't know your name. Tayama, I don't know. I will learn it though because I love learning about new people. But I think honestly, in my opinion, Penta's English is good enough. I don't need subtitles and I don't need the translator. Yeah. So I don't know what his role is going to be. But where they push this feud, they're gonna have to elevate it. I mean, they're gonna have to do something if they keep it going, like a 2 out of 3 or Falls Count Anywhere or like Lucha in a cage or something. AEW has only had like 1 cage match, so who knows?
Yeah, definitely. But let me ask you this question as well: are you intrigued when you saw the aftermath? QT Marsh, we've been seeing him as of recent late going heel. Where do you see this going with QT? Where do you see this going?
They're trying to, obviously tease this, maybe not an entire Nightmare family separation, but they're trying to definitely tease QT's on his way out. QT Marshall is one of those wrestlers where if you weren't paying attention before he debuted in AEW, you may not know who he is. And I don't think enough of the fans perhaps care about that storyline so much. I don't think they're if and or buts about QT. Mm-hmm. I think they're booing him because that's what you're supposed to do. But I don't think anyone's hearts are going to be broken if he leaves. Obviously, if he turns on Cody, that'll get you some heat. But it's not like this big, like, insidious device like the MJF turning on Cody. That was huge. Yeah. Especially since that was on, like, the first Dynamite ever. I don't seeing it being something like that where it's this big, out of nowhere, crazy heel turn out of this great guy that we all love. It's a guy who a lot of people aren't too familiar with, who is teasing a heel turn that people may not care about. That's just my opinions about it. He's definitely going to do it, but what is he going to do? Go solo and be one versus the entire Nightmare family, which has at least 9 people. The Gun Club is now officially in the Nightmare family. So it's like the deck is stacked against whatever QT Marshall has lined up.
I think he'll take one of them because I think Nick Comoroto is part of that. So he'll take Nick Comoroto. He's mainly on dark, but he'll take him for sure. Right. I don't know who else he'll take, or maybe he'll go join another faction. But I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with QT and
I'm not tuning in every week to find out.
Yeah, I hate to say me neither. It's not that I'm a fan of QT. I love his in-ring skills. It just I don't know. There hasn't been a lot of character development with him inside that organization.
Yeah, we just know that he's in the family.
Yeah, that's all we
know. That he had that weird sort of relationship with Allie, right? With the bunny.
Yeah.
But I mean, in kayfabe, we know that she's married to the Blade.
Yeah.
So it's like we knew that wasn't going to be a thing at all.
Yeah.
And the whole Allie thing coming in Nightmare Family, the Nightmare Sisters, and then slipping right out the back and going back into the Butcher and the Bunny thing. That just pays a little bit of credit and it's also a discredit to AEW's writing team where they come up with an idea that's not good, but then they realize it and then they kind of just delete it. Remember what was it, the Nightmare Factory or whatever the fuck Brandy Rhodes was doing with Awesome Kong?
Oh yeah.
Where she was shaving people's heads and like they were like coming out and doing this weird gothy kind of. They did that for like a month and it was really not good. I didn't hate it, but it didn't receive well. And they didn't even end it. They just stopped doing it and they just moved on.
Yeah.
The same thing with the Alley moving from the Nightmare Family back to the Butcher and the Bunny and the Blade.
Yeah.
So I mean, when they do have a bad idea, they don't even acknowledge it and they just end it and they don't talk about it. But yeah, with the QT Marshall, that's the only storyline he's had is like, this is my girlfriend, kind of. Is she sort of in the family, kind of? She doesn't get along with Brandy, but they're a tag team, kind of. And I was like, all right, I'll buy it. I'll watch it. But yeah, it's not exciting yet.
Yeah.
Not exciting yet.
I agree. The other one, which you might disagree on this. Now, the next upcoming is Jade Cargill. Very squash match against Daddy Jordan. I will tell you right off the bats, I'm still not impressed yet. You're not winning me over, Jade. I'm not saying her physique, everything is perfectly fine. It's just her in-ring skills. I need to see more of her developing her in-ring skills ability. So, I mean, give me your thoughts. I know that you probably have a debate on that with me, but that's how I feel personally.
I feel it.
So it's nothing in that towards her character, none of that. I love it. It fits her. Her charisma is there. It just her ring skills is not winning me over as of yet. So I don't know how you feel about
it. To be fair, yes, it is only her second match, and no, we have not seen more than 2 minutes of her in the ring doing anything. What she is doing in that 2 minutes looks clean, well practiced. She doesn't look awkward. She doesn't look like Cameron. She's not botching anything. Everything looks like she knows what she has a confidence about what she's doing. She doesn't have two left feet. She hit a sick knee. Essentially, she hit a brutal V trigger.
Yeah.
I love her finisher. I'll go back to the books. I'm very certain that's Lana's old finisher when they were trying to push her as a legit wrestler, which is that double underhook facebuster, which I love that finisher. I think that was. I can look it up, but I think
that was Beth Phoenix finisher.
It's a gland slam? Okay.
Yeah.
Lana did something else, though, where she did like an underhook into a slam. It looked very similar.
Yeah, it looks similar, but she was more like an X Factor.
Okay.
Yeah, it was more Beth.
A little nuanced, but the way she pins, she kind of does like
with the flag.
Well, but the way she does it, she's like kind of like doing like a little sexy pose, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's pretty cool. So yeah, she hasn't. I think they're getting her warm to being in the ring in front of an audience on TV.
Okay.
I think the benefit of that is that, you know, they're not giving her a lot of opportunities to mess up while also getting her used to being under such big lights.
Agreed.
The only negative thing, I can't even say it's a negative, is that, yeah, we haven't seen her in a long match. There's not a lot of back and forth. It's like she hits a big move. There's a tiny comeback. She hits a finisher and it's over, and that's okay. That's how you build a beast.
Yeah.
So hopefully on a long enough timeline, they get someone who she's more comfortable with performing a 2 or 3 minute match to a 5 minute match to a 10-minute match, and we can fully see how she performs on a long enough timeline.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. And we're gonna see that with her and Red Velvet. We already see the feud is gonna keep on going. So this time it's gonna be a one-on-one, no longer like a tag. When Shaq was involved and Cody, but now it's more like with them two. So I'm looking forward to see what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I think the Shaq thing might have just been. I think that might be kind of done too. As far as I don't like to do Shaq. Dude, Shaq took the bumps, bro. Shaq did the damn thing.
Me too. I think it.
He took the craziest table bump. I did not. For a guy who's got more money than God, taking that table bump is awesome. So yeah, I'm super stoked that Shaq didn't hold back the bumps he was taking. I don't think Shaq per se was a vehicle to get Jade Cargill in the company.
No,
I don't think they were using Shaq to build her up.
Yes,
but it did help. It did help. I think that she was going to be there no matter what, and Shaq was going to be there no matter what. Obviously, the Brandy thing happened. She got pregnant. I don't want to say it was unexpected. I don't know if they were planning it, but it was written originally in the storyline. It was going to be Brandy and Jade.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, we'll wait to see what her and Red Velvet. Moving on with that, we did see. Now, this is the one that I want to ask you. I'm curious because this one was like, what?
Okay, I got so many thoughts coming up. Let's do this.
Okay, yeah, this one. Okay, so we did see the MJF, Wardlow, FTR, Sean Spears, Tully coming out.
Mm-hmm.
They're all coming out. They're all in the ring. See Tully already all up. This is the best groups of guys that I was part of.
Love the name. It's official. The name of the company.
Yes,
I love it. It's so good.
Explain to me why.
Because MJF didn't explicitly give the faction a name. I do believe it was in his speech where he said the word, but then in the post-match, Excalibur announced or gave them the name. I don't know if it was deliberate, but the name of this new faction is the Premier, and that is so fantastic. Essentially, it's a new version of Evolution. I wouldn't even say it's Horsemen because Horsemen were very respectable guys. These are a bunch of dickheads that get shit done. Yeah. That's what Evolution was. These are a bunch of up-and-comers being guided by legends. Tully Blanchard's been in the game 35, 50, 55 years, champion for half of that. We can get into the Arn thing. I do remember Arn did come out. I don't think that was a blurry memory of him coming out in like 4.
Yeah.
I love everyone in the faction, his performers and his characters. They're not doing much with Sean Spears right now. He's just kind of standing there, hitting people with chairs. I mean, that Sammy Guevara jump bump was fucking goddamn.
Oh, my God.
But here's a thing I want to sort of allude to, and this is a big stretch considering what we know about the Dynamite Diamond Ring.
Yeah.
Is Cody won that match last week with a figure 4.
Mm-hmm.
Arn Anderson is the coach of Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Arn Anderson said 4. Cody hasn't done that figure 4 in a while. Who else used to do that figure 4? Who else is the only person who does that figure 4?
That one you do. Woo! That's
so, in a parallel universe on the dark side of the moon, would Cody and MJF ever get back together? Under the circumstances that Cody and him essentially broke up, probably not. But it's possible. It would definitely be a full-blown bastardized Cody Rhodes if he did that. If he joined this faction, I don't know how that would work. He wouldn't be. MJF is technically the leader unless Cody came in and then kicked out MJF or something like that. But I still think that possibility is there. I don't think the Arn and the figure 4 thing was done accidentally.
But what about Arn? What about he's the one that leaves? What about he'll be the one that leaves
American? And Arn joins and leaves Cody by himself.
Yes.
That is more possible than Cody joining.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can see that. Because FTR mentioned it before. I mean, they're big fans. They were big fanatics of.
So here's one thing I see. Is I also see that this happened to DDP. This didn't really happen to DDP, but it sort of did. DDP obviously used to be in AEW Dynamite. He was there actively for a long time, and he has a newborn child. COVID happened. He decided to just not take the risk and took himself out of the equation. I think what could happen is Arn does come over with Cody, and then everybody turns on Arn and Tully. and then that's the faction. And I only say that so Tully and Arn are getting up there, and maybe they're safe within the COVID regulations, but maybe at some point they want to pass the buck on, start the faction, and then move on. And this could be their separation from the cameras. That would be cool too. That would be a real big dick move, and I would not put that past MJF to. You may be the crafty veteran, but I'm the young blood, which was his speech about Jericho.
Oh my God!
And, attack the old guys and make room for the young guys.
I loved it. I'm honestly, I said this a while back. I said it that he is going to be a future. We think you and I have said it. He is the future of AEW, and I love the fact how he said
he's the future of the sport. He's not. I mean, I keep saying this that he's the best heel, and I people can say there are better heels than Mr. Perfect. I doubt it. The Rock was great, but Rick Martel was great. Jesse Ventura might have been the best heel before Mr. Perfect. Roddy Piper's up there, and MJF's up there as well. Yeah. I haven't seen a heel this great and this natural on the mic. This dude's 24 years old. 20-4. Yeah. That's two 12-year-olds, man. Like, there's a picture taken in this decade. No, not this decade because it's 2021. Last decade of MJF with, was it Austin or was it Cody? When he was 12 years old. I think it was Austin. I have to find it, but he was at a signing. Might have been DDP. Oh, yeah. Of a young Cody. And this is only like 10 years ago or less, like the dude has such an immense talent on the mic that is almost overshadows his wrestling ability, which he doesn't wrestle much because that's the character. He's the bastard that gets out of wrestling by talking his way and having his cronies come in and do the dirty work. But he can wrestle as good as his mic skills, and we are blessed to have him on the mic like we do.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I mean, I love when he said, like, oh, man, the 25 years, of the next 25 years of what, the GOAT Jericho is yeah. Making line because that's my seat in the next 25 years upcoming. That's my spot right there being the GOAT. I love his promo on that. He killed it in that fucking promo. Man, MJF, it got me like, this son of a bitch. He's going to be a world champion someday. He's that heel. Like when Jesse Ventura was a heel, it was before the fourth wall was broken. Mm-hmm. And people hated him in and outside of the ring. He would get death threats, which is unfortunate. People would show up to his hotel looking to fight him. I think he got stabbed on the way to the ring once. Cody is lucky that people know the difference between reality and character now because MJF comes off as someone who is like that in real life. I can't imagine what that guy's like off camera at home with his girlfriend or his family. Like he is so good at playing just the douchiest bastard that it's so hard. Like we just had Just Incredible on, and one of the nicest guys I've ever met. And I don't want to say I wasn't expecting him to be that way, but I was so used to the Just Incredible character that I had to ask him, like, how do you get in that zone? How do you become that just evil prick? That's just a weird thing they turn on. And MJF, I don't think turns it off. It's insane. Well, since you brought it up, so there you go. Your first announcement, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow on Saturday.
Oh, sorry, breaking news.
Breaking news on Saturday.
Well, cheers to that, Brony.
That's right. Cheers to that one. The major news: the one and only El Director has an exclusive interview with Just Incredible.
That was. Oh my God, that went so well. I was so nervous that I was gonna mess that one up, dude. Just not even mess it up. Just fanboy and get stuck and stutter and not come up with questions and brain fart. Like, oh shit, I just realized that there was a brain fart in there. I might have to clip it out. Anyways, a little behind the scenes right there from Circle of Debate. We do get nervous. We are humans. We are fans first, professionals second. So there are flubs in this reality of ours.
Absolutely.
But moving on.
But yeah.
What's next on the list, bro?
Well, yeah. Before we move on, I just want to say about being the Pinnacle. Okay, I get the definition and get it. I'm just like,
is it Pinnacle or is it Premier?
No, Pinnacle.
Oh, I thought it was Premier. The Premier was awesome. I thought the Premier was even better. That's why I kept saying it.
Yeah, no. I wish it was
Pinnacle. Okay,
yeah, the Pinnacle. That's what I'm saying. Like the meaning of the word is like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, there's nothing further above it. Yeah,
no, there's nothing further above it. It's just, I like it. Can I say it works? I think it fits them. Like I said, I mean, from last week's episode when we had Anthony, he did mention Blood and Guts, them and Inner Circle. I could see that for sure, most definitely. But I'm just like, shit. Imagine this group actually takes the titles from, like
all of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
And then, okay, let's say MGF becomes the AEW World Champion. You got FTR regaining the tag team titles belt. That leaves you.
Or Lois TNT or Sean Spears is TNT.
One of them, yeah. Or let's say create another world title, another like a mid-card title.
Don't need it. They need a Trish title. I want that I want that Triple A title, but I mean, there's no trio in that team right now.
No.
Unless you give it to Wardlow, Sean Spears, and MGF, and then have the heavyweight picture just be outside of them.
Or give it to Tully. Hey, give it to Tully. He just might as well.
You just say that because you saw me drinking? Jesus Christ, you're fired. You're fired, Austin.
Because Tully, why not? He wrestled. Might as well just give him the belt.
Okay, so Tully Blanchard or David Arquette? Come on now.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have Tully Blanchard. Shit, he's a legend.
Right. I got you.
All right. All right. Then we got we did get a little preview of the Matt Hardy's compound group on Dark. We did see him do a little squash match, but now we had him on Dynamite, which was the Matt Hardy, Private Party, Butcher and Blade, defeating Bear Country and Jurassic Express. We did see.
I thought that was Heavy Machinery for like 2 seconds. I was like, Otis, what the fuck's happening right now? I was definitely like, that's Heavy Machinery. Like, you can't tell me. Then I was like, it's not Heavy Machinery, but goddamn, they look exactly like them.
They do look alike, right? Jesus. I mean, we did see the little altercation they had between Jurassic Express and Bear Country, but overall, I mean, what are your thoughts now that we're seeing this upcoming feud, this other group? Now they're going to be feuding with Dark Order. So, I mean, what are your thoughts about Matt Hardy and this group so far?
It's conflict of interest. I don't hate the character per se. I do like Broken Matt Hardy better. I like that he was given the freedom to do whatever he wanted as Broken Matt Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that story ended as a character, even though I guess you just have to bonk Matt Hardy on the head, and then he becomes another version of Matt Hardy, the V trigger or the V 2.0 or the Hardy Boys Hardy. You hit him again, he becomes Broken Matt Hardy. You hit him again, he becomes, what is he called now? The CEO or the power player or something like that?
Money Matt.
Yeah. I just, it's not interesting to me, really, especially like I said, I think previously in the last episode, where you have two tag teams in one umbrella, and now they don't like each other, and who's going to get the title shot? They're going to have to fight each other. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I think that might be the storyline, though. I think that might be why they did that. I don't think they think that's a good idea. I think it's a bad idea, but on purpose by Matt, who wants the money, who's playing like the greedy road agent.
Yeah.
I think that the storyline is the bad money-hungry decisions Matt Hardy is making because he is making them. That being said, his team did get that win, I believe. Yeah, they squashed the shit out of Matt.
Well, he got the win. He came in.
He got poor fucking Marco Stunt, dude. That was the worst, the worst twist of fate. And that's not a move that looks dangerous or hard to do or hard to take or any risk of injury. Marco Stunt broke in half on that move. I was like, yeah, that ballsy little guy, man. I love the toss that the Bears, is that what they're called?
Oh my God. Did you
Heavy Bears?
Yeah, Bear Country.
Bear Country.
I wasn't mentioning that. Did you see he almost ate shit?
He almost overshot them. I forget who was out ringside. The Butcher had to make sure to catch him, or he was going into the front row with nobody in the front row because there's no crowds out there right now. They almost killed a kid. But yeah, so Jesus Christ. We are going to get Jungle Express versus Bear Country. That's the route they're going.
Yeah.
But once that's settled, they're gonna go back versus I'm gonna call it the Hardy Party just because it's easier to remember. It's weird. It's a little messy right now. I need some things to be cleared up. I need a lot of dust going on in that division right now. So
it's just like there's so many groups, man. I mean,
everyone's in a group. I can almost not name a freaking singles wrestler besides. Nope, not him. That's Cody. No, Cody's in a faction. Name a singles wrestler who's not in a faction.
Fuck, right now? Jesus, who could I name? There's no, you're right. There isn't.
Lance Archer has Jake the Snake.
Oh, No,
he has Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
Darby has Sting. There's no singles. No. Angelico has that other guy.
Oh yeah, Jack Evans.
Jack Evans. Kip Sabian.
Kip Sabian with Miro, and then
no, I keep calling him Kip Sabian. Who's Penelope Ford's husband?
Yeah, Kip Sabian.
That is Kip Sabian, right?
Yeah, Kip Sabian with Miro.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, the best friends, SCU.
Yeah.
They have yet to resolve the Scorpion Sky thing. Yeah. Moxley's got Kingston. Good Brothers got Omega.
Yeah.
Nobody. They even put, Will Hobbs in Team Taz.
Yeah. You're right.
The Inner Circle, the Pinnacle, Dark Order. Jade Cargill has Shaq. A couple of the women don't have a thing. I think, Sunny Kiss has Joey Janela.
Yeah. Velvet
Rose had Brandy for a little bit before she went on paternity leave. Britt has Reba. Nyla's got Vicky Guerrero. Everybody's got somebody. There's no straight up single solo people.
You're right. There isn't.
You can't name one person I cannot connect. I just literally did the whole roster because I have a brain for that, for stupid shit like people's names off the top of my head. But I'm trying to think. I got to think of one, man. By the end of the show, I got to think.
There is one.
Who?
And he just, he had a little segment, and that's obviously who else from my peeps, Christian Cage.
Yeah, that's one so far, but he just showed up and hasn't had a match yet.
No, not yet. I mean, you heard his, you heard his comments. He's not here to take nobody's spotlight. That thing. He's just hungry for the world title.
Yeah,
pretty much telling Kenny Omega, "Oh yeah, I'll be seeing you
down the road." It was very, very serious and very meaningful and from the heart promo. I felt and have said what I thought he was going to say and feel about how he's going to end his career on his terms as the legend he's worked to become. I said that about Sting as well. I think that's why Sting's back. Sting wants to end it on his terms. He wants to dictate how he goes out, not somebody else. And thank God Tony Khan is letting these workers kind of reclaim some glory that may have been buried under a bigger banner.
Mm-hmm.
I with that promo right now, as I say it, I am excited to see how he performs. I want to see it. He even said the thing that I said. He knows that he may not get a world title shot right away, but after a couple of matches, he will have earned it. I want to see those matches.
Yeah.
God, I told you last week I was not excited about what matches would lead to that world title, but now I am.
So now the question is, who would you put him to start off with?
Dustin Runnels, first one.
Oh shit!
I'm just saying.
Dustin Runnels, huh?
That's a good one. It's a solid win. Dustin's performing better than he's ever performed.
He's in the best shape of it. He's best shape of it.
Is it DDP Yoga, right? He's running that, or not running it, but running the program.
He's running the program, yeah. Definitely.
Best shape of his whole life. I would not have imagined, even the 1997 Goldust with Marlena, that he would ever do anything he's doing right now. That Canadian Destroyer is not an easy move to do. That is all about the guy giving it. He's insane.
Protecting your
opponent, getting that flip off. He's working week to week. He's not cutting any corners. He's not phoning anything in. These are long, grueling, violent matches, and he's doing the work. And I think.
Wait. We're talking about the same Dustin Runnels, or are you talking about Cody?
I'm talking about Dustin.
Okay, all right.
Dustin's wrestling a lot.
He's been wrestling a lot on Dark, so yeah.
That's still wrestling.
Yeah, and
still inside the ring.
Yes. No.
What I'm saying is that Dustin losing the Cage won't send him back, but it will elevate Cage. It'll put some respect on the name within that roster as far as the kayfabe world goes. If we're talking about the AEW rankings list, yes, that's a great place to start.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't be surprised to even see him on Dark. I mean, why not? Shit, let him get a couple.
That would be a huge boost because YouTube is a great place to watch pro wrestling. I don't think enough people watch Dark.
No, that is right. You're absolutely right about that. And also, it's a great time to even watch us here on Circle Debate as well. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well.
I got to do the Mick Foley.
There you go. And also to our audio platform listeners as well. Here on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts as well. Thank you once again for tuning in. All right, so now we move on with Moxley, Eddie Kingston versus the Good Brothers. I'll let you take the floor on this one. Your thoughts about that type match?
Every promo they do together is better than the last promo, and that is hard to do. That promo, They have to make that thing up on the spot. I don't
Googly eyes.
I don't think they rehearse it anymore. I don't think. I don't even. I said last week. I think there's bullet points they try to touch on. I don't even think that. The googly eye thing was funny. I like how they so passe in their conversation. Moxley will say something and Eddie will be doing. He'll be just not even paying attention per se. He'll be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, yeah. That was like '97. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, yeah." And then they just riff off each other, and then they kind of finish each other's sentences without cutting each other off. And they're clever, but mocking each. You know, they make fun of each other while they're making fun of their opponent. Quick Easter egg: Moxley was wearing a T-shirt brand called Violent Gentleman. That is actually the Butcher's T-shirt brand. Andy Williams, the guitar player for Every Time I Die, that's his T-shirt brand. So that was a little Easter egg I don't know a lot of people picked up on. And I knew that they were going to have to go through Good Brothers. Mox is sticking around, it looks like. I'm kind of into it. I mean, maybe they're still working on him getting his ass beat enough to take some home time. But as long as he stays, I'm enjoying it. I didn't think he would go back to a tag team ever. I mean, he literally spent his 7 to 9 years of his career within a trio, you know, and essentially under the shadow of Seth and Roman. It took a long time for Dean Ambrose to break out as the top Shield performer. It definitely took them breaking up because he was never going to be the leader of that team.
Yeah.
But now he's, after a year run as a singles wrestler, he's now in a tag team with Eddie Kingston, who I love this team. They're sarcastic, they're violent. It's very old. It just reminds me of like the old school Tommy Dreamer days, man. Like Mox is just Tommy Dreamer and Kingston is whoever Tommy Dreamer was teaming up with at the time. Like it just has the very old school ECW vibes.
Can you say Sandman maybe?
Maybe Sandman. Yeah, for sure. Like I get that. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, you can say maybe Sandman, maybe.
Or Sandman barely ever talked, so I would say, well, Moxley's talking a lot right now, so I would say Dreamer is Moxley and Sandman.
Or I could say maybe Raven, because remind you that also Eddie's a good fucking promo guy. Period. Bottom hands down. He could take something and he could deliver. Yeah.
When I say that MJF is the best heel of the past 30 years, and he's great on the mic, but he's the best heel. Eddie Kingston is the best mic man almost of all time. Yes. Like Piper and then Eddie Kingston. Good, bad, ugly, whatever we want to say. Eddie Kingston, I don't know why I didn't know who he was before AEW. I feel really bad. And to the fans, I apologize. But Eddie Kingston is on my radar as one of the GOATs.
He's one of the GOATs for Combat Zone Wrestling. So, I mean, I follow, now majority of his career.
I know he had a match with Super Dragon. I watched that match. I was like, oh, shit, I got to watch that. That's fucking crazy.
Definitely.
They definitely got to get the Good Brothers. But the feud ends, I think, there. Because obviously Cage has his eyes on Omega. And I think this whole scenario was Moxley's target was not on Omega anymore. It was on the Good Brothers.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. It has to maybe end in a cage match, something violent, some kind of death match, something, maybe do it over on Impact. That'd be a huge ratings boost over there for sure.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I would love to see Kingston and Moxley go to Impact.
I would love that.
That would be, I mean, they're doing a lot of big, huge crossovers. That would be the biggest to date. The Kenney thing is pretty big, but Kenney, unfortunately, is not Moxley as far as popularity goes. It's not even close.
No, but I mean, we did see the aftermath. We did see, I mean, Moxley would, they won a match, but we did see Kenney coming out, beating the shit out of them. We did see that right at the end, who came out for the save was the Young Bucks.
Young Bucks and someone else after that.
No, it was only the Young Bucks that came out.
It's just the Young Bucks? Okay.
Mm-hmm. It was only the Young Bucks came out. Of course, they were trying to give it too sweet. And they're like, no. I mean, we did see earlier, but besides what we didn't mention, we saw the earlier segment, then with Don Callis, about, you guys are nothing no more. You guys are down here. And Kenny Omega's God up here. Like,
right.
I'm glad Matt ain't here if I can say it, because if knowing him, he'll be right on it right now.
This entire interview would be in Matt Callis.
Oh yeah, it'll be in Matt
Callis. It's
all
good. I love it.
I love it too. I hate it. No pun intended. But yes, but I mean overall, I mean, if we take that segment and then look at what happened this one on the aftermath after this tag match, do you see the Young Bucks going heel?
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Because that's
easy pie.
Easy.
What is the one thing that Don Callis said was that you guys aren't elite anymore? Where is the Young Bucks I saw in New Japan? Where is that fire? Where is you guys, you're really killing the business. Yeah, living off your own name. You're not elite anymore. You're not the same people. I think that the Young Bucks are going to beat the living shit out of Mox and Kingston at some point and try to earn back their spot amongst Kenny's favor.
Yeah.
And then that might lead to the Young Bucks versus Good Brothers, and the winners of that are going to be the winners of, Kenny's heart. That makes the most sense for me.
Okay, yeah, that makes a little sense. I was going to say, yeah, that's one scenario how you put it is right. The other scenario would be they don't go heel. Let's just say they stick the face and they go. I feel they'll lose the belts to the Good Brothers.
Double champs? Wait, no, Good Brothers just lost the belts, right?
Yeah, unless they regain it back at Rebellion and they lose it and they regain it back and then become double champs, taking the belts from the Young Bucks. That could be another option. They're probably the direction they're maybe heading to. I'm not sure. That one right there is a little question mark too, because I don't.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are not happy or not trying to be too much intrigued because the fact that they're not being led to a direction that okay, now I'm gonna be tuning in and seeing this storyline. Where is it becoming in fruition to? I mean, but we have to wait, be patient, ladies and gentlemen. Let it little by little build up. It takes about certain time to get that food ready, like how Mike says it, right in the oven. You got to give it some time. But I love your scenario. I think that makes more sense.
Yeah, because it's a little more linear. It's a little easier to follow, I think, and it doesn't have to take months to develop that storyline.
No, because it is like more like that's when you get your Civil War a club, pretty much. What a club.
Yeah.
In between each other.
Oh, I loved Eddie Kingston. Hey, but I don't know what's going on with the Bullet Club. Can we say that? Is that legal? Are they going to come after us? I don't know. What's this shit? I was like, bro, he's so good at off the cuff, dude. Like everything he does is off the cuff.
I love him, man.
It's just good. I could watch him just talk. Like he could have a TV show. If he had a podcast, a shoot podcast, not even a shoot, if he had an in character, well, fuck, he's not even a character. That's who he is.
That's just who he is, man.
If he just had a podcast, I'd love it. I would listen to that shit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Let us know if Eddie Kingston has a podcast and we don't know about it. Tag it in the comment section below.
I would love to know because that's something that I would be definitely tuning in to see. All right, so now I want to get into this segment, and this segment goes out to our brother from another mother from the League of Extraordinary Podcast, and I'm going to George Mackay from Straight Talk Wrestling, and to Kenneth Stone from Dirty Heels.
I thought of.
Yeah.
First person I thought of.
I told him I was going to mention something on the show. He messaged me.
I'll talk about the moment that led me to think this way.
All right.
But there's one thing that happened, and I'm going to let you finish, but there's one thing that happened where in my brain instantly, George, continue.
Yeah. He messaged me. What did I say? So what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is so we did see the Darby and Sting segment coming out, Tony Schiavone. We did see Lance Archer coming out, interrupting. Oh,
Hate the Snake putting on a clinic. God damn, it's good to hear him again.
Yeah. It is your time coming.
I love that Jake the Snake's on the mic, bro. That just never needs to end.
Oh, yeah. And, your time's coming, Sting. Your time's coming, Darby. And then we see Team Taz coming out. Taz was ready to say something. Then Brian Cage was like, no, wait. It's time for me to say something to say.
Don't speak for me right now, Taz.
Yeah. Don't speak for me, blah, blah. And that's when he went up to Sting and told me, you know what? I respect you. And I'm like, oh, shit. That was just out of proportion. Like, what the fuck? And from there, it clicked on George. George and Kenneth. Kudos to Dirty Heels Podcast. And then kudos to George Mackay from Straight Talk Wrestling, man. But yeah, the floor is yours in that one. Finish it off with that. Let the people know.
I got you just before that. So one thing that AEW does is they're very good at this. Another Easter egg is their ramp locations. Okay. Their tunnels. Mm-hmm. So obviously, if you're looking hard camera from the ring to the backstage area where the ramp is.
Okay.
The right side is the heel entrance and exit.
Yes.
So Lance Archer came out of that side and he returned on that side because he is the heel. Team Taz came face side. As soon as I saw Brian Cage walk out of the face side of the stage, I'm like, George. I'm like, fuck, he called it. I'm like, before anybody said anything, before Brian Cage grabbed the mic and did the whole speech, I'm like, They're going to let him use the mic. He's ready for the mic. They're going to let him speak. This is the one thing that George said, is that he needs more mic time, and he's learning from Taz. That's all they're waiting for, is for this guy to be a veteran on the mic. The line, Taz, you don't speak to me right now. I'm ready to use the mic and make my name as a personality that can speak as well as he can perform, because we know nobody questions Brian Cage in that ring.
No question.
So, yeah, we are definitely going to get a Cage face turn. He is probably going to starch Lance Archer for a title shot and destroy Darby Allin and win the belt. That's what I think is going to happen. Darby is obviously going to defend it, and I love this. I don't know if anyone picked up on this.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to all this, when Darby came out and said he wants to be a fighting champion and defend his belt, I've defended only 3 times, and people treat it like, no, that's a joke. He says this beautiful thing. I want to pay respect to the greatest TNT champion of all time. What does the crowd say?
Cody.
What does Darby do? They were saying Cody.
Let's wear Brody.
They were saying Cody. I swear to God. Were they saying Cody?
Brody.
I heard Cody, but then he meant Brody. If they were saying Brody, then okay. But yeah, it was funny. It was funnier my way. I thought they were saying Cody, because Cody, that technically was the greatest TNT champion. He defended it like 90 times in 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought they were saying Cody, and if I'm wrong, that's cool. It's a funnier storyline if they're chanting Cody, but he meant Brody.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then he challenges obviously any member of Dark Order. Obviously, Johnny
Hungy,
yeah.
Reminded also that it also dates that was the time when Brody Lee made his debut as the Exalted One. So that's why they chanted. I
believed you. I just, for some reason, I heard Cody. Because that's maybe who I thought of, and the names rhyme.
Yeah, no, it sounded like it. Trust me, I was like on a TV. I'm like, wait a minute, what are they saying? Okay. Oh, okay. They're saying Brody. Because believe me.
I thought it was funny if he was like swerving the crowd, like, and then said Brody. I'm like, oh, I see what he did there. But yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. I think Darby beats John. Brian Cage beats Lance for the title shot, and then he beats Darby. That's nothing about that is unrealistic, and nothing about that sets anybody back a step in their career.
But now, where do you see
it doesn't even set Darby back, because he's like 25, 26, something like that. So he's got plenty of time to recover.
Oh, yeah. Agreed. But what I'm saying is, where do you see the face turning though? Like, okay, let's say let's say your scenario. Let's go.
Like next week. Like, yeah, soon. Like before the end of the month. How many Dynamites do we have left? Like one more?
There's plenty enough Dynamite before.
No, I mean in the month.
Oh, we have 2 more.
2 more this month. I think before April, we're gonna get the official Brian Cage Leeds Team Taz.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we may see that maybe. But so you're saying that he might turn face before even getting the TNT title shot then?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Go face. He might even go face in the Archer match. He might come out with Taz as part of Team Taz. The Archer match is about to start. Team Taz tries to pull some shit, and he's like, "Get the fuck out of here! I want to do this by myself." And then kind of have that move the wheels of the separation. But I don't think it's going to be a long, drawn-out inner circle MJF conspiracy theory for a couple of months.
Yeah, right.
I think it's going to be within 2 or 3 Dynamites. He's going to say, "Fuck off! I'm on my own. I'm the good guy here. I want to earn my keep on my own and not need, outside interference and work off of Taz's name."
Yeah.
But George Mackay, holy shit, bro, you fucking nailed it. You got it bullseye, dead center.
They definitely him and Kenney, when they talked about it, they did. And I mean, shit. Are we gonna see the Cages, Christian and Brian Cage,
versus Adam Page and Ethan Page in a cage with Page ringside? And what did Anthony say? Rage in a cage.
Oh, blood! Yeah. Oh my god! Imagine we were to see that shit. Jesus, I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on that for sure, because I want to see where this is gonna go. I'm happy at least Brian got that talk time that he deserves.
That's the most he's gotten in a while, and I understand the Taz thing. Taz is masterful on the mic. And that happened after his ECW career. He didn't speak very much in ECW proper.
Until he started commentating on SmackDown.
We had Bill Alfonso for a little while, and then when he went solo, he only talked a little bit in promos before matches, but it was very quiet, like a couple of words here and there. He didn't talk, obviously, until he became a commentator.
Yeah.
And then I think he went over to TNA for a while and was a manager.
He was there as a commentator and a manager as well.
Yeah. So like Taz is real good as the bad guy manager, like super good. I mean, I miss him in the ring. Goddamn, man, it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. But his style just led to injury, man. Just picking people up and dropping them on their head meant that he had to land on his own head too. So I get it.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing that and see. We're already seeing Lance Archer not going back to heel. That's for sure.
He's an anti-hero. He's kind of like Moxley, where like you love to hate him, but he kicks ass, so you cheer him.
Yeah, I love him though. But I mean, I do agree they should use him more often. I'm not saying Darby's not a bad champion. It's just I agree with what he said. Like, yeah, you barely had enough time to defend that belt because you were stuck on that storyline with with Team Taz and with Sting. So it's like, okay, now we need to see more of you defending that belt, and I agree with him 100% on that. So if he loses it very quick, sorry, Darby. I mean, you had it, good run, brother. But until next time, at least
it was enough to get people to get his name in people's minds.
Yeah,
I never considered Darby to be someone who was going to set the record for the title defenses or longest reign.
No,
but I see him kind of going the way of Orange Cassidy in the sense that he's the underdog that you will always cheer for.
Yeah.
And we'll just see what happens after this. I mean, maybe Christian Cage beats Dustin Reynolds and then has a really great 4.5-star match versus Darby. That could kind of be like the speed test for Christian Cage to see how well he can do with a fast performer instead of like a bigger guy like Dustin. And maybe he gets his title shot off of the Darby win. That'd be cool. I'd love to see that match for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All right, and now we're going to get to the main event of the evening, ladies and gentlemen.
And not only are we going to get to the main event of the evening, we are going to get, for the first time in 16 to 18 months, the first all-female main event on Dynamite. In AEW, nay, even on pay-per-views, I do believe that is correct.
First in Dynamite, I believe so. I could say it in this type of match.
I would say first in Dynamite and on their pay-per-views. I can't think of a pay-per-view.
No, well, on pay-per-view they never had a women's to main event. This is more like a, it feels like a.
So this is the first for both. This is the first for Dynamite and for any AEW event.
Well, this is first for Dynamite for AEW, like for Dynamite.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's a first. I mean, I'm going to say this. It was a great match. I loved it. I'm not going to say. I'm not gonna go off like fucking Meltzer straight out. Not. He said,
Meltzer like this match, or
he went above 5 fucking stars.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm not hate. I mean, fine, you go that way, but for
I appreciate it when he does. Yeah,
but
when he talks shit is when I have a problem with it. But when he gives something a good review that I agree with, then I
in this match, all I can say is that Britt Baker, this match went over. And this is why she needs to be the AEW Women's Champion because of this match.
Baby. It's coming.
And it's coming. Because this match, even though she didn't do much offense, if you could tell, she did not do much offense. But she got her ass whooped. And I give it, I'm not saying like, oh my God, it's the greatest match. No, it was a great match for her. For both women on both sides. For Britt, the fact that this will put her over now, and this is why she needs to be now getting a title shot. She should be next. Thunder will be another upcoming, but this is something that Thunder can have now with other people, other feuds within the women's roster that she's able to help build up. So this was in favor more for Britt, in my opinion. So the floor is yours. I want to hear your thoughts. Take it away with that main event.
Yeah, sometimes you can develop respect and a persona and a presence off of a loss. I felt this way about Sasha Banks in her Bayley takeover match, an Iron Man match, where Sasha looks great winning, but she almost looks better in her losses. As far as a bump taker, a storyline, as the fight progresses. She's beaten Charlotte. She's looked great in those wins. She's lost to Charlotte. She's looked almost even better in those losses. But she's earned respect every step of the way. No one's ever had a reason to disrespect Britt Baker's performing in the ring, but I don't think enough people looked at her as someone who did better in the ring than she did on the mic. She's literally the female parallel to MJF. She's a great bastard on the mic, but doesn't wrestle enough in the ring for us to have an opinion about her yet. But that's her character. Her character is getting other people like Reba, Don't Call Me Rebel, to do her dirty work. She's been in tag matches. She's been in that trios match. This is her first singles match in a while. And the last one that I can think of was versus Big Swole in the dentist match.
Yeah.
Which technically wasn't even a singles match. Reba was there helping her out.
Yep.
But she took her licks. She kept on ticking in this match. There was a spot that scared the shit out of me. It looked very Joey Mercury.
Could you just
What?
let me use this pink
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We're having.
We can hear you. You are live
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. He's having
from Studio H4 in Rockefeller Center, New York City. Awesome. So if he can hear me, that's cool. But
Oh,
yes.
there he is.
There he is.
He has the pink ones. That's right. All right. My apologies. Let me just introduce.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Very quickly.
Dude, I love the headset, bro.
Love the headset. I need one of those to myself.
There we go.
Those razors? What are those?
I believe so. Yes.
Hell yeah. Razor, sponsor us.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a multi-time recording artist, a graduate from Cal State Dominguez Hills, 2018 Los Angeles Karaoke World Champion. He also lives 1,977,000 miles from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. He is the master disaster, the king of sting, the man with the plan, Money Mike Lopez.
Woo, feels good to be here. Let's do this.
Too bad you don't have your manager Don Callis here today. So you don't have Matt Callis.
Yes, I know. So happy birthday to Mama Callis, you know? Yeah.
Mama Callis for sure. But yes, we were discussing about the main event for AEW Dynamite, which I want to go ahead and allow the CK1 to finish his thoughts about that main event.
Yeah, just in short, I think that people will now look at Britt Baker as a solid in-ring performer. She took the L. She took a beating to get that L. People already know Thunder Rosa can wrestle. I know Britt Baker can wrestle, but I don't think enough people can. So I'd like to see her do more singles, clean matches. And by clean, I mean, not gimmick matches, not death matches, cane matches, ladder matches. But I was talking about this crazy thing that I almost thought was about to happen. I thought we were going to see another Joey Mercury incident with the ladder smashing her.
Oh my God, yes.
I was like, oh no, not again. Because she had been out earlier, mid to late last year for broken nose, right? Or orbital?
Yeah, broken nose. And then, man, she suffered a lot of, her AC, I think her MCO or ACO, one of those that she.
Yeah, and she had to do the Cody Rhodes thing where she wrestled with the mask on and shit like that. She's the breakout star of the division right now as far as just character goes. Like I said, she is very parallel to MJF. On a long enough timeline, she'll be appreciated as one of the best heels in her division for sure.
All right. Money Mike, before you talk about the main event, I want you to take us briefly, your thoughts of Dynamite very briefly overall. Start from the beginning. I could go ahead and name it for you.
Yeah, go for it, man. I'd love to hear it.
I would love to hear your feedback. So I'll start naming the one match from Dynamite. So the opening match, Cody PINNACLE. Your thoughts?
Cero miedo, man. Wow. It's like I've not seen a lot of Pentagon's matches prior to AEW or any really. So seeing him, especially with this sort of thing that happened, it started last week, starting with last week's promo and then going on to this match this week. This guy's very entertaining and he's making a fan out of me because, it's just the little things like putting on the hat, the St. Patrick's Day hat, like little things like that are entertaining. And I was actually wanting for him to win a lot. I really wanted him to win. I know that he got rolled up, right? And it wasn't the most dominant victory, which I think is fine. But I really do think that he should have ended up winning that match, right? So that's my take on that.
Jade Cargill, your thoughts about her as of yet?
Yeah, of course, they're hyping her up. and she looks the part, right? And she's decent in the ring. She's shown some improvement, of course. It's only our second time seeing her. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what she has next. Is it going to be Red Velvet again, or somebody else? You know, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
The new group, the Pinnacle.
I don't like the name. Right off the bat, I don't like the name.
You're gonna go back and watch this episode where I talk about that real quick. I mistakenly, for some reason, thought the name of the group was the Premiere, and I fucking loved it. And for the first 2 minutes of my conversation today in this interview, I'm like, oh, I love when he said the Premiere and Excalibur said the Premiere. I'm like, that's the best name ever. And Evan's like, it's the Pinnacle. I'm like, fuck, that's the worst name.
Yes, it's the Pinnacle, and no, it doesn't go. I don't know. The name could have been better, but you know, at the end of the day, it's what they do, you know, that matters. And as far as it goes right now, they just beat up the Inner Circle, and they delivered a promo. So let's see where they take it from there. All
right. Matt Hardy's group. Matt Hardy, Private Party, Butcher and Blade, beating Wrestling Express.
I wouldn't doubt if you guys have this same opinion that Butcher and Blade do not belong with Matt Hardy. They would be better off doing their own thing. And you know, I think that it's just kind of a mismatch, really. Like it just doesn't go. I don't know. It doesn't blend well so far.
Well, if we go back on that, it's kind of like more like Matt, like how Chris said earlier. He said like kind of resonates Matt Hardy's split personality, the broken Matt Hardy, the money Matt, and you know. Yeah,
I was saying that I think that Matt might be.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think Matt might, with the money Matt character, I think he's becoming greedy and just grabbing what can get him the dollars as the character goes, and not really looking at what. I think the joke is that he's just trying to get people in to give him money, and he doesn't care about their interests, because obviously we have 2 tag teams in one faction. When there's title shots available within that faction, they're going to fight. And Matt doesn't give a shit who wins the titles as long as they're in his camp, because he's going to get paid. I think that's the gimmick.
That's the gimmick. Yeah. Okay. That there you go. Thank you.
That's what I think.
That makes perfect sense.
Besides that, yes, I agree. Bad booking, but I think that the bad booking is the joke.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Interesting. I do feel that TH2 would have been a much better fit.
I think so too. I agree.
What I mean?
Yeah.
As far as the look and the style, I guess, but you know,
we'll see. They're more Hardy centric for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In either one of those teams.
Christian Cage segment.
It felt kind of anticlimactic to me. It felt very flat. I would have wanted to see him in the ring on his own delivering this. Ooh. He could have delivered it by himself.
In the ring. I feel you, brother.
You know what I mean? He said, hey, you know what? Kenny Omega took my time or whatever. Well, what does he do? Go out there and get his time. You know what I mean? So I think that would have been a more effective way to have him speak for the first time in AEW. So more so than a backstage segment. So I don't know. But here we go. We'll see how it goes from there.
All right. Moxley, Kingston defeating the Good Brothers in the aftermath.
Let's see. So, I mean, anytime Moxley wins, I enjoy that for sure. And I'm liking this Kingston-Moxley duo actually more so than I thought I would. At first, you know, it didn't make sense because people know that they are friends and that they've partnered, I'm guessing, in the past before AEW, before WWE. So people are aware of their friendship, but see, not everyone is aware of that. So to see, especially after everything that happened, I believe it was at Full Gear, that Moxley and Kingston were at odds and, you know, going for back and forth for the title. It seemed kind of just
Kingston
sudden.
had the whole Kingston's whole thing was, I want my friend back. Like that was the whole speech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you know, I'm still getting used to seeing that pair, but I'm liking it. I'm actually liking it more than I thought I would.
Okay, and where do you see this Young Bucks story? So you saw the aftermath. Kenny Omega came out. They beat up Moxley and Kingston. They take out Kingston's leg. They were gonna take out Moxley's head. Bucks came out, try to give him the too sweet. They didn't help out. Where do you see this going?
It has to end with Good Brothers versus the Bucks. I feel if it's going anywhere, really, you're not having these segments just for nothing. It probably could turn out that way. Who knows? But ideally, this will end up in a Good Brothers versus Bucks match, and maybe even having the Good Brothers take the titles from the Bucks. Who knows, right? It's everybody is taking titles from Impact. Omega is on his way to get the world title. Finjuice has the tag team titles. The X Division was going to be put on Sammy. So everybody's, bombarding Impact, but what is Impact getting out of it? So, I think the tag titles, the AEW tag titles could end up on Impact.
Chris said one thing though, and he'll
say that. I didn't say that. I said a thing.
He did say he sees the Bucks going heel, and they beat the shit out of Moxley and Kingston, and get their love back for Omega, and then they feud with the Good Brothers to win the love of Omega. Am I correct? Did I say it right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think that the Young Bucks, the Callis interview in the beginning of the segment was, "Where's the Young Bucks I know in Japan that have this fire? You're just a shell of yourself, whatever." Omega doesn't love you because you're not elite anymore. He's here, you're there. And so I think that they're going to do what it takes to get back in that elite circle by fucking shit up and kind of going the way Omega went and becoming mega heels to prove Callis wrong, and then, getting back in favor with Omega.
Yeah, it could go either way.
That'll be beating the shit out of Eddie and Moxley, and then, beating the shit out of the Good Brothers, and then they becoming the dominant tag team of the bunch.
Yeah, that seems like a more likely scenario, to be honest. But I think of it for Impact, really. I feel that Impact's really kind of being buried in a way, or they're on their way to being buried. So in my world, I guess I would like for Impact to get something out of it too.
I agree. Right. I agree, and that one it does hurt because I've seen it around social media. It's been around like Impact's getting buried because of this. I mean, you're putting your titles to other promotions, and you're not building your roster that you have to be the face of your company. And I mean, right now you have Rich Swann, which I have no pun intended to Rich Swann. I have nothing against him. We did say it last week. It'll be a shocker if let's say he wins the AEW World Title. So that'll be something different, and that would to help develop Impact. I mean, that's something that we don't know as of yet, but as of how we feel that Kenney is going to be the one holding the belt and not having 3 belts because it's Kenney Omega. If Matt's not here, he's like, no, the God of wrestling, It's not here. No, he is not here.
No, I'm looking for my sunglasses now. I'm like, wait a minute, something's missing for here in Circle Debate.
There you go. But I mean, it's an unfortunate sad because think about this: their tag team champions is now a team from New Japan. Yeah. You only have Ace Austin, who's your only Impact and roster who has the X Division title, and as of right now, you have Rich Swann. And then in the women's side, you still have the women's great, but your world title is about to be going to AEW. Maybe your tag belts might be going to AEW too. You never know. I mean, this is something we do not know as of yet. We have to wait till April 24th to find out where all this shit's going to happen. And so I feel bad for Impact, most definitely. I hope I hope it switches around. And I kind of wish it was Moose, honestly. I think he should be the face of Impact. That's my opinion. But, I mean, everybody has their own on that. So, now, so the main event. Take the floor is yours, Money Mike. Your thoughts about that main event?
Woo-wee. Man, what a main event that was. Yes, so, I watched the West Coast feed of the show. And, unfortunately, with that comes spoilers. Now, I did not get the results spoiled. I got something else spoiled. I saw Britt Baker with her bloody face. And then that right there was just like, wow, like you don't expect that sort of thing, right? Women bleeding or in such a big channel, right? So the thing here is that it needed to happen. It needed to happen to get the women's division on another level, and that it has everybody talking about the women's division there right now. In more specifically about Britt Baker. Britt Baker has not been champion. A lot of people believe, myself included, that she should be next in line for a title shot to be able to dethrone Hikaru Shida and hold that belt up high. And if this doesn't earn her that, I don't know what will, really. I don't know what they're waiting on. I do think that Britt Baker should have won and have that lead to the title shot. But not unfortunately, because Thunder Rosa is a great talent as well.
Oh, yeah.
So it could have gone either way, and it went with Thunder Rosa, and that's totally fine too. But that's the great thing, right? That's the great thing about having a women's division that's growing, is that either way that they go is a great choice. Yeah. So thumbs up for me. I watched it with my girlfriend, and she was very impressed with the match itself. I've heard things of match of the year. I've heard all sorts of great things about it, and the thumbtacks. Oh, man, ooh wee! I saw the bag and I was like, no way, that is not happening.
Can I say that there was a glimpse of her smiling, all bloodied up? I'm like,
yeah. I think someone screen grabbed it.
And made a
Who was it? One of our bros, or maybe I just saw it randomly where they.
I think I'm not quite sure who did it, but AEW's taking out a shirt for it.
Yeah, but they put it side by
Steve Austin fucking WrestleMania 13 moment.
Oh no! The one that I saw was a side by side with Becky Lynch when she got tracked by Nia Jax. Oh, very similar because Becky was up in the crowd all fucked up and she was smiling and like licking her own blood and very similar vibes.
Very similar.
And we all know that's literally what made Becky the man.
Yeah.
People loved and respected Becky, but her walking out of that arena with a broken nose, laughing about it, that is what put her through the limit.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And so hopefully that does that to Baker, but as the heel,
Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier, Mike, before you jumped on that. For her, this loss she needed because this put her over. This match put her over, hopefully. And now needs to be the world champ. How you said it. Agreed. Great minds think alike, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, she is now. She'll be the new face of the women's division, holding that belt. No pun intended to Hikaru Shida. Your time is done. You had a great time. I'm so sorry though. She's next in line. So we need Britt Baker. This is her time now. Let her run with it. Let her run with it the whole fucking year until the next year Revolution maybe, and have someone dethrone her later on throughout the future. Maybe Jade Cargill. Maybe if she develops in the ring. Maybe I don't know. There's so many right now that we need to see. But yes, the women's division is going to get picked up. I cannot say it's a match of the year. No, I'm not. I loved it. The fact how everything overall. But like I said, it's not how I was mentioning earlier. It's not how Mr. Seltzer said, oh my God, it's like the plus 5 stars. Chill out. Like I was saying earlier, because Britt did not put a lot of offensive moves. She took most of the beating, the majority of it. So, but it's for a reason, because for her to get over with the fans, and now she's going to be more accepted because of this shit. And now her being the champion, she's going to have people right behind her for it. Guaranteed.
Would you say that this is kind of a lead up to her turning face? Do you think that's something that might happen? They might do.
I think I'm waiting for Rebel. I don't know. Actually, I don't know what name she actually goes by. I think we're waiting for that to turn face. Not that. I don't mean that like she's in them. I mean that storyline. Yeah. But Baker is like MJF. She's too good at being a just full out heel that I don't want to see her face anytime soon. The women's division needs. I don't want to say she's the female MJF because she is her own self, but I want that kind of bastard female to run that division. All
right. Well, yes. All right. So I want to go ahead and move on now with pro wrestling news very briefly. I want to get your guys' thoughts.
Oh yeah.
I want to get your thoughts. This one I want to get your thought on.
I may not know any of these, so you're going to get a very instant and honest reaction. So I'm excited. I know two things.
Okay.
We'll see if you cover them. If not, I'll cover them.
Okay. The first one is we did mention a while back about Kylie Ray, her retiring because of mental illness, leaving Impact. Now she's coming back. Now she's announced her she's unretired to come back June 5th. I guess the details is she's okay now. She's better. But a lot of people are a little skeptical still. It's like, okay, you're going to come back. This is the second time you're doing it. That you're going to come back in performing. And then later on throughout your career, you got to retire again. It's people. I'm not saying people are criticizing it. It's just more like, are you sure you want to? It's more like, are you sure? Like in a positive way. Is it okay? Because we don't want no other future altercations or future bookings that you cannot make it because of mental illness, which is nothing, no pun intended towards it or nothing against it. I mean, do you feel is it the right time for her to come, or she should just wait a little longer for her to rehabilitate more? So I'll go with you, Chris. What do you think? Your thoughts about that? What do you think she should do?
If people are concerned about her dependability on booking, that is the wrong thing to be worried about. This is a mental issue that she's been dealing with. This isn't a ring issue. It's not like a bum knee where a doctor could just go in and say she's good.
Yeah.
There's only 3 types of people that can really help her, and that's, medical professionals, loved ones, and herself. She can do whatever she wants when she's comfortable with it. She can come in the ring. She can leave the ring. If people are worried about, like, we don't want to book you because you might cancel, like, how about ask her how she's doing and not worry about how many dollars she's going to make you before she does it. That's it, man. That's the only point of view I have about it is her well-being matters, and this is her dream. And mental issues are so much trickier than physical issues because you can't just go in there and stitch it up or carve it out or put it back together. So much more goes into it. So I hope she does exactly what she wants to do, whether it's in and out of the ring. But don't worry about the carrot of $sign of her name being on your banner yet. Like, just make sure she's cool. Take the chance. Book her. Fuck it, man. Like, best case scenario, she shows up. Worst case scenario, you were right this whole time and you're kind of a dick for predicting it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Money Mike, you agree?
It's tough because, really – the only person who knows if she's really ready is Kylie Ray herself, right? Yeah. And for any bookers the whole wrestling business is it's tough. I mean, I've not booked anything. I'm not a wrestler myself, but I've seen and I've heard things throughout the years that kind of make me realize that, of course, a lot of the promoters and bookers have the business mentality to make sure that the money keeps rolling and coming in and whatnot. And, along with that, you need reliable pieces that are part of it, right? For Kylie Ray, she needs to realize, or she needs to be able to distinguish between who's a business acquaintance and who's really like, her friends and the people that, truly are with her for friendship. And I'm talking about within the wrestling business. I'm not talking about like her personal life or anything like that. Because it seems like it's a business that can be hard to tell who you can really confide in and stuff like that. So, if I were to talk to her, I would say, just, stick to your friends, stick to the people that were with you all along, and everything will be fine,
Definitely. And also in other news, we did confirm that Andrade does want to be let go. He confirmed it on his social media. Yes, I did ask for my release for my future. So, and they even posted it on social media earlier. It's like a kid holding a sign, "Free Andrade." I'm like, yes, free him, damn it. Damn it, baby.
Would that be gratis Andrade? Gratis?
Yes.
Gratis. Is it like English where the same word is? It's the same word for both free of money and free of freedom?
It's different.
So there's a different word for his kind of freedom. Okay. It's not like English. I got you. I'll stop now.
It's 2 different dialogues to it. So it's gratis, and then what's the other one? It's
Libertad.
Libertad.
Yeah.
There you go. Libertad.
Okay, so like liberate. I got you. That makes sense.
Yeah. And then but yeah, that now Andrade wants to be let go. Okay, can I say I'm gonna say my shit right quick.
Please.
I want Andrade and Thea Trinidad. I don't care.
Back together.
Together again. Together. I don't give a damn if it's not AEW. Could be the Ring of Honor. Could be NWA. Could be even in any fucking promotion. I want them together. Even back to New Japan will be awesome to see. But that's just something that I would like to see to give it to fucking Vince. Like, here, and for you, Bruce, especially you. I mean, Money Mike, should they let him go?
Now, there is something to think about here. There is a certain person called Charlotte Flair that is heavily involved with Andrade. She, in fact, I believe, is engaged to him, right?
Yes, they're engaged.
He put a ring on it already.
Thank you for reminding me. I'll go back in time after this conversation. Continue.
Now, you know, as a guy in a relationship myself, I know that once you get into one, it's you got to think for two, right? You can't just be on your own and make your own decisions. And I really believe that if he is to leave WWE, which is inevitable at this point, I do believe that AEW is his best choice.
Yes.
Why? It's in Florida. He won't go to Japan and be halfway around the world and have a relationship with someone in the States. So I definitely believe that AEW is the place that would be ideal for him to go, right? WWE should let him go. There's nothing worse than having an employee that doesn't want to be there, because that is just no good for any company.
Yeah. It's like Aleister Black. He's stuck at home getting paychecks. That's it. Till further notice.
That's terrible. It's just wasting company money, and it's wasting the talent. It sucks. So, as for Thea Trinidad, I hear rumblings that she's talking to AEW. Rumor innuendo, folks. Not like Uncle Meltzer or Seltzer or Betzer or whatever. So, long story short, yes, WWE let him go. Let him go, damn it. So we can see him in AEW. We can see him over there, and see he can kick ass somewhere else.
All right, there you go. Director.
Yeah, I want anyone who is in a performance occupation to be happy and paid what they are earned and deserve. There are obviously legal contractual obligations that are signed at a certain point in a performer's career. I do not know the details of what Andrade has signed, but I know that the WWE can just expunge a contract. They can just literally tear it up. You're free. They've done that. They've also said no, like with the Revival, made them wait out their contract, even offered to pay them fat stacks of cash per appearance, a lot higher than, anybody at the time that was tag team. They were probably getting, I think, offered like $50,000 each an appearance, some crazy number. And they even said that. And then, there's also the 6-month no show clause. There's so many details. So I don't know if it's, and I think this happens a lot, spite. I think that Vince and whoever's in charge does know that when they do eliminate a contract immediately, that they're just going right to AEW. And I think that is the biggest reason. Same with WCW, that they have those no performance laws. And they do make sense, that keep your product from going to a rival, making money off of the heat that they have from coming from your promotion. I guarantee you that's what they're doing. That's why Thea Trinidad, Aleister Black, the Revival went through this. Paul White, I think, didn't have to go through this. I think his contract just was up, and then he just went forward with whatever he wanted to do. But I do think that they know that he wants to go there, so they're going to be like, yeah, not yet. No, we're not ready to say goodbye to you yet, and we're going to make you suffer for this decision. I don't know if his relationship with Miss Charlotte Flair has any strings to be pulled. Obviously, she's got a different contract. And I don't know if she's like Cena, where she can dictate what she can do. But I doubt she can just go talk to the boss on behalf of her husband or fiance and say, hey, let him go. I don't think it's that simple.
No, it's different. I think that in business perspective is very different.
Yeah, it's tricky because obviously WWE, rightfully so, does need to protect their product and a product they developed under their brand from going to another company and taking that thunder with them. So legally, I get it. Contractually, you have to understand it because that's why there's contracts and that's why people sign them. Maybe they can come to some kind of terms. Maybe give him a 90-day. Maybe give him a 3-month. Pay him the rest of his or you can buy out the contract. Buy out the rest of the contract. Let him sit at home for 6 weeks. Then let him go. That's best case scenario. But like with Edge, with Christian, with Big Show, with anyone leaving, I want them to get paid what they deserve and what they can negotiate.
Yeah, I agree. And then we have another one that wants to make his in-ring return. He made a little statement on a recent in a Pro Wrestling Illustrated, was interviewed, and I want to end now my career in my own terms now. Another person that wants to end their career in his own term, and that is who? X-Pac! That's right.
Yes!
Sean Waltman.
What? Tell me more.
Well, he already made his announcement that he will be coming back in the ring once he's done rehabilitating his surgery that he had recently, just past year, just getting back to, until he's fully recovered. Then he made an announcement. He wants to come back one more time to finish his career how he wants.
Did he name drop where?
No,
or just
what's any opportunity that is open that he's
okay. I love that. That's not a promise. It's not a prediction or anything. Cool.
So your thoughts? Do you agree with that, Mr. Director?
Give it to Mike. I got the last one. Mike, you go first.
Well, it's interesting because he's very close to Paul Levesque and then that crowd, right? It would be easy and kind of almost predictable that he would go to WWE. AEW, I really don't think it would be the best decision for them to pick him. Sure, Billy Gunn's there and all that, but at the end of the day, you got to stay away from becoming TNA 2.0, WCW 2.0, where you're only bringing ex-WWE guys, which, all things considered, they are not. They brought in Christian, Big Show, all that good stuff, but they've also given the spotlight to a lot of new talent. Why do I say that? Because now I know new wrestlers that I wouldn't have known otherwise. Okay, so yes, so X-Pac going to AEW, I don't think it's the best decision. I think WWE is where he's going to go.
All right, Director.
Yes, completely agree. This is new information to me, so I'm processing this as I speak. So going to AEW just adds to the stigma of it's just WCW Part 2. It's all the has-beens and the never-will-be's, and I don't want that stigma on any brand. And AEW is doing a decent job of keeping it on their name, which is fine. It's fine. They have plenty of original talent. So like the 3 names that have come over, that really it's not like the entire roster came over like when WCW pulled like every single heavyweight champion of all time at once. But yes, he essentially started in WWE as 1-2-3 kid. Didn't spend that much time in NWO as 6. He only spent maybe 6 months to a year as an outsider. Not that much time before he came right back. Because remember, he debuted the Raw after WrestleMania 14, which is when the New Age Outlaws officially joined DX because Shawn had left after that Austin match. That's a fact. Go look it up. That's my wheelhouse right there. So yeah, he only spent maybe the summer of '97 in WCW. So he is the long and short, Edge, just homegrown talent raised in that division or in that company. Obviously part of the clique with Shawn, Triple H. Maybe don't want to see a DX reunion because I'm all about that original, well, not original lineup, but that second version with post Rick Rude, pre-Tori Wilson. That's the one I'm talking about. I think Kane might have been in there as well for a minute. I don't know. But yeah, his home. That's where he belongs. I don't see any reason he can't just make one phone call to Triple H and say, hey, I think Triple H might even be waiting, just tell me when you're ready. Just let me see your name on the phone call and I got it ready. Yeah. I think it's going to be as easy as that for him. Storyline wise, maybe US title run, maybe doesn't win it. I don't know. Maybe comes in feuds with Riddle, some shit. I don't know. But
I would say more just matches here and there, or
yeah, for sure.
Or even in NXT.
Maybe comes in
I don't mind him in NXT either. Like I don't mind that.
That would be cool. I've always wanted someone big to go back down to NXT. They don't do it the other way around. I thought Edge was going to go down there and perform as a, as a regular performer. Yeah. That didn't happen. I predicted that, and I was wrong. Yeah. But you don't see a lot of people going back, and I think that's not a bad idea. I know they want to bring the homegrown talent up through NXT, and Finn Balor went back and is doing very well. Mm-hmm. But I don't see why they can't. It would be crazy if they put like someone big like X-Pac. That'd be cool. I'd love to see it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I'm looking forward myself, and I'll be Magic. I hope he'll be ready by at least SummerSlam. I would love to see him by SummerSlam.
Yeah, is he like cleared now? Like he's
not. He's not there yet. He's fairly. Okay. He's still recovering from surgery. He's still rehabbing all like
right. But he's in the post surgery part of whatever the injuries were.
Yeah, all this like nagging injuries he had prior before that he never got to himself.
Yeah.
But he said he feels great, but he wants to come back. He wants to like end his career his own terms. And I'm happy for him that he wants to.
If they get him in the ring with Matt Bloom down at Full Sail or whatever ring that they want to test him out in, like obviously he doesn't need to try out.
No,
but he does need to show.
What? They get just incredible in there.
Okay, now stop talking right now. I was going to say that. I was going to say something. You don't know this because you don't know this yet.
You don't know?
Nobody knows what I'm going to say, so I'm not going to say very much. But there's a very real possibility that there is a promotion that exists currently where certain people that have been mentioned in the past 30 seconds could have opportunities, and against each other would be great. That's all I'm saying. You're going to have to tune into the Just Incredible episode this Saturday to find out what I'm talking about. But there's a very real possibility that the things that we're talking about right now would be a good idea for somebody who's perhaps in a band to consider booking.
Okay, definitely just stay tuned for that, ladies and gentlemen. And also, we'll be right back. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.